I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go?
ขอเก้าอี้หนึ่งตัวนะคะ
Sure, I said. And off we went.
เปิ้ลเพิ่งมาเหรอ
When the doorbell rang,
just come
Oh, right, okay. Sounded like a gunshot. When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door. Opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said. And off we went. Okay.
when the doorbell rang I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep he said I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater would you like to go sure I said and off we went
Right, very good. Good job. When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door. Opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said. And off we went. Okay.
When the door bell rang, I got from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door. Opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went.
And off we went. Very good. When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went. Okay.
When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went.
Right, very good. Sure, I said, and off we went. Okay, go ahead.
When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He says, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went.
And off we went. I rose from my chair and crossed. I walked across the floor, or I crossed the floor. I crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said. And off we went. Okay.
When the doorbell rang, I rose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went.
And off we went. Very good. And crossed the floor to the front door, opened it and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. Okay.
When the doorbell rings, I rose from my chair and crossed the door to the front door, opened and saw my friend standing on the doorstep. He says, I'm going to the 7 p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure. And sat off we went.
Right. Sure, I said. Sure, I said, and off we went. When the doorbell rang, ding dong, whoa, whoa. Doorbell rang, I rose, I got up from my chair, I rose from my chair, and crossed the floor, walked across the floor to the front door, the main door of the house, the front door. I opened it, of course, and saw my friend standing there on the doorstep, standing there on the first step to the front door, standing right there. He said, I'm going to the 7 p.m., not a.m., but p.m. show at the theater. Would you like to go? Sure, I said, and off we went. Off we went, off to the theater. Where are they? They've just gone off to the theater. Any questions about the words? Cross.
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 Cross. C-R. Cross.
Cross the street.
Rose.
Road. Stand up.
Doorstep.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
PM.
Post meridian.
Whole meridian. Afternoon.
Teacher, I lost from my chair.
I
Lost.
Like
rose.
road.
Just like the flower. I rose the rose. Would you like a rose? I rose from my chair. I got up
Stand up.
from my chair and crossed the room. I rose.
Not flower. Lost the flower. Lost the flower.
Right. Oh, well, what I mean is the same pronunciation. The flower, the rose, a dozen roses. I rose from the chair.
Thank you, sir.
You could say I arose as well. I arose from my chair and crossed the floor to the front door. Or I rose from my chair and crossed the room to the front door. Obviously, you were on the floor. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah, R. Cross,
Cross.
rose, rose, cross, cross.
Cross. Cross the road. Cross the street. I cross my eye. I cross my
Cross. Crossed eyes.
Exactly. Cross my eye.
Okay. Okay, here.
เราจำได้ตาก็หันกันตามองกันโอ้ยทำได้ cross my eye across my leg นั่งไขว้ขานั่งไขว้ขาใช่ไขว้ขาเป็นหน้าวันละขาเป็นหน้าใช่ขาสมาธิเหมือนกัน cross เอาขามาไขว้กัน sit down and cross your leg นั่งลงขาสมาธิ sit down and cross your leg
Okay, here we go. My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Plastic wrap. My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Okay.
My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscles. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap.
Right. I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap, as if there was no W, just wrap. My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Okay.
My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap.
Plastic wrap. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Okay.
My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of plastic wrap.
Right, very good. I went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Rest, wrap. Okay.
My knee was very sore following a game of basketball, during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap.
Plastic wrap, very good. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of plastic wrap. Okay.
Money was very sore following a game of basketball during which I tripped and fell while running down the course. I later went to see my doctor who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and applications of a plastic wrap.
Right, very good. My knee was very sore following a game of basketball during which I tripped and fell while running down the court. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of a plastic wrap. Okay.
My knee was very sore following a game of basketball during which I tripped and fell while running down the course. I later went to see my doctor, who examined it and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application of the plastic wrap.
Recommended application of a plastic wrap. Application of a plastic wrap. So my knee was sore. Oh, it just hurt something terrible. My knee, I couldn't believe what happened. My knee. Following, after I had played a game of basketball, it was really bothering me. And what happened was during the game, I tripped and fell onto the court while running down to the other side basket. Tripped and fell while running down the court. Boom. I later went to see my doctor after the game. It was still bad, so I went to see the doctor, who examined my knee, looked at it carefully and said I had a torn muscle in the knee area. And what did he suggest? He recommended rest. Take it easy, just relax, sit down, don't do anything for a couple of days. You'll be okay. Oh, and by the way, here's a plastic wrap. Wrap that, leave it on. During the day, you'll be okay. Something like that. Any questions about the words here? Knee, sore, aching, sore, hurts. After the game of basketball, because during the game I tripped and fell when running. I later went to see my doctor, who looked at it, checked it out, examined it, and said I had a torn muscle. He recommended rest and application, putting on a plastic wrap application.
I had a torn muscle. It means muscle is pain.
Yeah. You strained it to the point where there was damage to the muscle. Let's say maybe something right along the side of the knee, where when you fell, you hit it on the court and damaged it in some way. Torn, a slight tear in the muscle. And so you wear the wrap that if you have to walk, it holds it together for you, rather than making it worse. Torn muscle. I tore a muscle during the game. Rest, plastic wrap. Any other questions about it? Okay.
Totally clear.
Totally clear. Okay, that's it until tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Okay. Remember, if you get a chance, try to read the English language paper gives you some ideas about words that are used commonly, like crow, and things like that are popping up in headlines. You don't have to sit there for an hour and a half, maybe 15 minutes, just looking through and picking out words that, oh, what does that mean, I wonder, or this or that. And just, you can look them up, and usually the meaning is right there in the dictionary. If you have any questions about it, just bring it up the next day. But you can really, in a short period of time, boost your vocabulary with words that don't come up in every conversation.
I read every day, teacher. Every day. I read every day.
Okay?
I want to know the word.
Good, good. It's on you, you can read you can't get the paper, read the computer, Yahoo or someplace like that where you can get the news. And there it is in English. And just, maybe for 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour, when you have time, just look it up. You copy the words down that you don't know and then look them up later or something like that. But it boosts the vocabulary quickly.
Yes.
Because there's not, a lot of these words, they don't come up in every conversation all the time, like probe, and stuff like that, busted. So it's quite helpful that way. Okay, there we go.
I already CT scan my brain. It's not full. It's still.
Really? Really?
I'm sorry for 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
Do video some of that.
ได้นะไปไหนพี่มีนี่เดียว
เอาละครับแบ่งมาเรียนห้องนี้บ้างเดี๋ยวอาจารย์
ใช่คือ
อาจารย์น้อยใจ
ใช่ คือไม่ยอมแชร์เลยนะ
ต้องแชร์
ต้องแชร์กันของดีต้องแชร์
ใช่ บอกอาจารย์
ผมว่าต้องสับสนให้
คิวนี่มานานแล้วเลยบางคนนี่แบบไม่เท่าไหร่ก็ไปแนะนำเพื่อนนี้ไม่รู้เรื่องกับคนเรียนไม่ถึงแน่ต้องรู้เรื่องมาใช่ไหม
May I ask you, the time is up. This term, different, and only at the same minute.
Big fan?